Would you believe that some teachers secretly changed their students' exam answers? Many street-level drug dealers earned less than people working ordinary jobs? Your child's name has far less impact on their future than most parents think. And that one of the most controversial theories in economics tried to explain why crime suddenly dropped across America. These sound unbelievable, but they all come from one of the world's most famous economics books. The book is Freakonomics, written by economist Steven D. Levitt and journalist Stephen J. Dubner. In today's video, we'll explore 4 fascinating stories from this best-selling book and discover how data can completely change the way we see the world. When most people hear the word economics, they think about money, inflation, or the stock market. But Freakonomics takes a completely different approach. Instead of asking how economies work, it asks a much more interesting question. Why do people do the things they do? The authors argue that behind almost every decision is an incentive, a reward, a punishment, or a hidden motivation. By studying real-world data instead of assumptions, they uncover surprising truths that challenge common beliefs. Let's look at 4 of the book's most famous examples.
We usually assume that students are the ones who cheat during exams. But what if the teacher cheats instead? Researchers analyzed thousands of standardized test results from American schools. Most classrooms showed normal answer patterns. However, a small number of classes stood out. Students suddenly corrected difficult questions while continuing to miss easy ones. Many answer sheets displayed almost identical changes. Using statistical analysis, researchers found strong evidence that some teachers had secretly changed students' answers after the exams. Why would they do that? Because higher test scores could lead to better evaluations, bonuses, or job security. This story teaches us an important lesson. People don't always respond to rules, they often respond to incentives.
Cinemas often show drug dealers driving expensive cars and living luxurious lives. However, the reality is completely different. The authors collected financial records from a real drug organization. From that study, we know that most street-level dealers earned truly little money. Many lived with their parents because they couldn't support themselves financially. Almost all the profits are distributed to the leaders at the top of the organization. The algorithm was surprisingly similar to that of a corporation. A few people became extremely wealthy, while most workers earned very little. The lesson? Never judge a book by its cover. Sometimes the people taking the biggest risks receive the smallest rewards. Many parents spend more time selecting the perfect name for their child. Some even believe that a specific name is a defining factor in success. But does it? The writer analyzed large amounts of data and found that a child's name has less impact than people think. Instead, factors like family education, income, opportunities, and home environment play a vital role. On the contrary, mature parents often choose certain names, but those names are not the reason their children succeed. The real advantage comes from the environment in which he grows up. The result is that correlation does not always mean causation. One of the book's most famous and most controversial chapters is on why crime rates in the United States dropped significantly during the 1990s. Many experts explained that the alternatives of stronger policing, a better economy, or changes in the law are the reasons. The authors introduced another controversial hypothesis, alongside other factors. They said that legal changes decades earlier may have indirectly influenced crime rates years later. This idea sparked intense debate among economists, criminologists, and policymakers. Some researchers supported parts of the argument. Others strongly disagreed and proposed different explanations. The main lesson isn't that this theory is definitely right. It's that good research encourages us to question assumptions and examine evidence carefully. Freakonomics isn't literally a book about money. It's a book about human behavior. It teaches us that the world is more complicated than it appears. The truth is usually hidden under the surface, waiting to be discovered through evidence, logic, and careful analysis. So the next time you hear a popular belief, don't just ask, is it true? Ask a better question. What does the evidence actually say? That's the biggest lesson from Freakonomics. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more fascinating books about science, history, psychology, and economics, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments which book we should cover next.